Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and welcome to our new game, which, as you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and where we are now, this is Butterfly's Poison. You guys voted for this, sorta? So in the last couple of polls that we did on Twitter and on the channel community page, this was always just coming in under other games. It was, I think, technically always coming in like second or third. I think it was basically third every time. Uh, so it was always up there. And I decided, you know what, we're not going to do a poll this time because I knew you guys wanted this one out of all the other games. And I know the people that have been voting for this in the last couple of polls. It's like, I'm going to give it to you. We'll do another poll when we get through other games and whatnot. But got such a backlog. The thing is, I didn't want to put another poll like, here's the other 5 new games that we have, including this one, and then this one keeps just squeaking out just underneath. You know what I mean? Because I can tell it's not like this was always for. There's always a want for this one, so we're doing this one. Now, first couple of things that we like to get to. So if you're an old hat here, welcome back. And thank you. And so we're just going to go through all the things in case you're new here, because I kind of forget sometimes that when we start games, new people hop in, and now we got to give the little spiel. First of all, hi, welcome. I hope you stick around. But fair warning, if you don't want to, that's cool. We do not do the voice acting in the games until the end. We go back through and listen to it. I do terrible voice acting and read voices for all the characters. So if you're not into that, feel free to leave. That's cool. I know it's not everybody's thing, but that's what we do here. And people seem to enjoy our terrible voices, which I have not prepared in advance for this game. I usually like to go through and check the characters and kind of see the vibe I'm getting for them, but I did not do that. I am not prepared, and I am never prepared. Every time we start a game, I'm like, I have the voice in my head, like what I think, and then I get like stage fright every time to do whatever. Anyway, not the point. I swear a lot. We also ramble a lot. So if you're not into that, that's fine. You know, we're not just going to click through. We're going to read. There's going to be a lot of rambling. There's going to be a lot of sharing things, a lot of talking and blabbing. And I know my voice is annoying. So if you don't like it, that's fine. It's cool. Not for everyone. So I think those are the things that I just need to warn people about in advance. For me, just me as a person and who we are. Things to keep in mind for this game in particular. This actually used to be originally an 18 plus game. There was some questionable CGs and things. That has been removed. You know, we're now wholesome and fluffy because it's on Nintendo, and we don't do that here, ladies. Side note to that, I find it funny that no, we're not going to get a little porny in our games here because we're wholesome. This is Nintendo. Yet when you look at some of the games that are geared toward men, okay, but she basically wearing a thong and a couple strings holding her giant titties together. That's cool, but I can't have a little porn in my game. Whatever, I'm just throwing it out there. Also, I can't be gay in any of my games. Actually, in this one, I think there is a quote unquote, it's supposed to be, just a friend man's route with a lady. But according to the guide that I was going through, we use a guide in case you're new here again. Forgot that. Yeah, it might be a little, I guess it's up in the air. You might be able to read into it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, if you're into that, we do have a friend man's, maybe lady romance route in here. So, okay, interesting. But also, again, there's content warnings on this game. They actually pop up one when you're first loading the game in. Don't mind me skipping through this because I just don't want... Actually, I've had this sitting up here for forever while I was testing sound and everything, and it hasn't started. We can't play theme songs because we get copyrighted, and I don't need to get bitch slapped with that. So, anyway. There was one that popped up that there are some, I think they said expressions that might have been used in the Taisho era that may not be suitable for today. So there was that little warning like, hey, we put some stuff in here that maybe back in the day was cool, and we know it's not cool now, but like, don't hate us for it. So that kind of a thing. But also, huge warnings, and I'm using this off. We always use Otome Kitten's guides, so this is on her review of the game. So keep in mind that the content warnings of this game are violence, sexual assault, incest, prostitution, misogynistic views, gaslighting, Stockholm syndrome, self-harm, suicide, drugs, substance abuse. So, like, that's a lot. So I'm just gonna, if those things are triggering for you or you have a problem with those, this is not the game for you. This is gonna be a little heavy and dark, it sounds like. So, fair warning, there's usually some violence in games. I don't know how bad it's gonna be, but knowing that there is sexual violence, assault, incest, because one of the routes is our brother. Put a pin in that one for a hot second. Prostitution, being misogynistic. I feel like there's a love interest in almost all the games that's a little bit like that, so we're kind of used to that at this point. But this is also ye olde times, so whatever. So there's a lot of heavy things. A lot of things. And again, I've never played this. I don't know how intense those things are. It could be mild things where it's like, they just mention that they're fucking doing opium. It could be something light where you're like, oh, okay, whatever. It could be seriously heavy. Anything like that that's triggering to you, this is your warning to click off and go. You know what I mean? So, and since it was originally an R18 title, there will be depictions of sexual intercourse throughout the entire gameplay. Play at your own risk. Okay, so those of you who have been here for a while know, and this is fun fact for new people, oh, look at that. Okay, cool. I didn't know there was a scroll down. There's an arrow, but like, whatever. I am the person that's sitting there like, come on, give me some spice. And then we get to it and I'm like, I don't want to read this. It makes me awkward. Well, this is going to be fun. You hate me, don't you? Is that why you voted for this? Like, I kind of sort of knew what I was getting into, but not like full on didn't read the warning labels. And now I'm like questioning everything. Do you guys hate me? Or like the people who voted for this are like, no, we're really interested in the game and also watching you squirm while you have to read sexy things. Like when they do their mming and moaning. I don't do that. I'm not voice acting. I can't, okay? Like goddamn. Alright, so this is gonna be like, it's gonna be a great time, but it's gonna be hell too. So anyway. I think that's all of the forewarning things. Side note on the brother thing. I did not know that there was a brother route in this, but we have played other games. So this is a refresher for anyone that hasn't been here for like literally like the past 2 months. Seriously. I mean, I feel like in the last couple of games we've played, it's like we've gotten the brother characters that are like, look, there's just a lot of brother stuff, okay? And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, seriously? You're just teasing now. You're like, oh, this character's your brother. Oh, but not really. And me, I'm like, all right, game, come on. Give me the actual brother out. Let's go. Let's do this. And now it's going to do it to me. And this is going to be exactly what I've been saying for like months now. I feel like, for anyone, not if you're like binge watching something 2 years in the future or whatever, but like for the people that have been around like watching things like as they're kind of going up live in a way, I have been like sitting there like, come on, hike your tits up and give me the brother route. Let's do this. Come on, Otome Games. What are you, chicken? Full on knowing, and I have been saying that the second they give it to me, I'm going to be like, this is awkward and I don't like it. What did I do? Why was I asking for this? And it's going to make me uncomfortable. And this, I feel like, is going to be the epitome of that. We're going to just see how awkward and wrong I feel about it and how much I cry, sit in the corner and go, I'm sorry I asked for this. I don't like it. Please take it back. Or if I'm like really into it and now I have a weird fetish because of these games. I don't have a brother, so like, it doesn't seem it's not going to be as creepy for me as people who have a brother who are like, yeah, the brother, where you like look at your brother and then you just feel gross because any book or any media that you read put in an incest route and now you just feel gross because you just read it, even though you don't have a brother fetish. You know what I mean? But I might read this and enjoy it and go, thank God I don't have a brother, because then I'd like really need therapy. But I don't know. We're going to see. Good times are going to be had by everyone else that's not me, maybe. I might have a good time. I might also be traumatized. I don't know. We're going to find out. But yeah, so the synopsis of this game, again, I'm reading this from Otome Kitten's, review post. So, a love tale of light and shadow set in the Taisho era. She could have gotten this from the game. I don't know. I'm just reading it off her thing. Tokyo, the year is 1918, a dark age for the world. In this tale of love and hate, 5 young men pursue the daughter of an aristocratic family on the verge of ruin. Spacey! Nomiya. We always change our heroine's name to Spacey to make it more awkward when they're like, I love you, Spacey. Just because it makes me feel weird. Still, it's been 7, 8 years that we've been playing these games, and it's still awkward. Born and raised comfortably in an aristocratic family. Why can't I read that? Oh my god. Is suddenly struck by a series of misfortunes. Sounds like this game and all the people in it are going to be the misfortunes, but is this fate brought about by the Taisho era, or is someone plotting against her? The dark, bittersweet tale, I think it's supposed to be tale, of Spacey and 5 gorgeous men is about to unfold. Is it 5 gorgeous men? I thought there was a lady in here. Are there 6 characters? I don't know. Okay, so anyway. No, there are 5 men and then the lady route. So cool, we've got 6. So, since we usually always use a guide with this, we're going to use Otome Kitten's guide, and we generally follow we use the guide for anyone who's new just because we get the good ending first, or the best ending first, and then we go and do the bad endings or whatever. And specifically, too, because if there are recommended route orders, we don't want to trip into the wrong route type of a thing. Sometimes in games, there's like a linear order and there's no way else you could do it. Or you get the choice, like, all right, now pick your character, who you're going to date. And other ones, it's just based on choice, and then you fall into a route. And if you fall into a later route, that might be spoilery. We don't want to do that. So that's why we use a guide. Anyway, certain ones are not available. They are locked, which is fine, because those are the ones that are more spoilery. So great for us. But, according to Otome Kitten, she strongly recommends playing the game in the order of Shiba, Fujita, Hideo, Mizuhito, Kyoko, who's our lady friend, who's one of the routes that's locked, and Majima, who is also obviously the route that's locked. So, and she did say 2 of the routes can be interchanged, but it was the best order, blah, blah, blah. So there we go. I'm not going to read the little things about each character or anything. If you want to check out her kind of post or whatever, or read that. I don't like sometimes reading the blogs about the character, like the little info about the characters, because sometimes it's a little much. I do like reading the little blurbs that she puts across the top. She puts like little quote unquote cliff notes, sort of. But I think Hideo might be my favorite because he's got glasses, and we know, unless you're new here, glasses characters are always my favorite. I don't know. Kent from Amnesia, blame him. First Otome boyfriend kind of set us up for everyone that we love. We like the robots. We like the nerds. I don't like the glasses assholes, and we just like glasses. Replaying Amnesia is just making me realize that that's crafted a lot of what I like. Anyway, but I like that she put on the thing for him, burb lovin' soon. I have burbs. You will hear me yelling at them if you are new here. You can probably hear him downstairs. Sometimes he's with me. He's downstairs, probably going to start screaming at me because he can't see me. So he's very clingy and needy. So, but that, and the glasses stay on during sex. I'm into it. So that's why, right there, favorite character. Glasses and birds. Okay. Anyway. So, we are going to start with Shiba's route, because that's the one we ding. Okay, so good to note that certain CGs can only be obtained by playing others' routes. So, I just wanted to open the guide and see, and it says start a new game. Okay, cool. So, hopefully music, sound, and everything are good. I think we've gotten all the warnings from the game. Beware of shit. So, prologue. All right, so we can start now, and we got to figure out voices for everybody because I didn't do that. Like, I feel like I should take a minute and do that, but like, I guess we're gonna figure it out as we go. So, start. Also, my controller thing, for my Switch controls is downstairs, so I'm just holding each controller in a hand, and it is the weirdest fucking thing because I don't have them like popped into my normal like thing to hold it like a normal controller. So just doing this, having them free-handed feels weird, and I don't know what button is what. It's like I can't figure out how to button because I'm not holding it, and I can't just sit here and pretend I like. So just bear with me because it's gonna be a little fucking awkward. So. Okay, this is me. Okay. Dear sir or madam, I hope you're in good health despite the summer heat. I'd like to humbly request the pleasure of your company at our daughter's. But I'm Spacey. At our daughter's birthday party, which will take place on the upcoming Sunday. A humble feast will be prepared to honor your presence. I do hope you can make time in your busy schedule and grace the party with your attendance. Sincerely yours, Spacey Nomiya. But why am I saying daughter's birthday party? Do I have a daughter now? Okay, now I'm out, game. You can put all the inappropriate things in here that you want, but don't put kids in here. That's my out. Not huff. Could you imagine if you said that instead of like huffing? You were like, huff! Looking down from the window overlooking the garden below, Spacey heaves a sigh. Oh, we narrating! Okay. She's feeling rather gloomy. The Nomiya family's manor is hosting a huge party to celebrate Spacey's birthday tonight. This is going to be weird because should I read this in tour guide Spacey voice if we're the narrator? I'm just going to read it like me. It's usually first person, so this is unique. Why would they hold such an extravagant party for me? Spacey can hear the music played by the orchestra, which was hired especially for this occasion to greet the guests of the soiree in the hall downstairs. I feel like I couldn't do this because I could not. Okay, so if you're new, tour guide Spacey voice. On top of increasing the number of servants and hiring top-notch chefs, Spacey's family has even made her wear a brand new evening dress, all for the sake of today's party. That would be too hard to do for the whole thing. We do that. Tour guide Spacey is what we do when we read glossary terms or anything like that, you know, but I don't think I can narrate the whole game like this. Just the thought of how much the family must have spent for this one night is enough to make Spacey's head spin. Spacey heaves another sigh. She looks down at the European-style dress she's wearing, but averts her eyes a moment later. She seldom wears this style of dress and is convinced it doesn't suit her. This makes no sense. Putting in so much effort for me? What is father even thinking? Oh, also, I can't wait to see who's going to get the fun Irish accent. It's not really Irish, it's a bastardization. Poor Irish people are like, that is horrible. It's just a horribly weird freaking accent. But somebody always gets it now. We only have so many voices, by the way. I have like 5 in a row. You got the bro dude voice. We got the soft, delicate guy voice. We got the like fucking, well, it's the Van Helsing voice. Which I think should go with Glasses Coon over here. Like, because, you know, it's usually, that's the Kent voice too. So it like works. And then we have the really bad Irish accent. Oh, we got the Lupin voice. Who's our flirty playboy? Who gets the Lupin voice? Okay, we got the bro dude voice, the sweet voice, the Irish accent, and then, oh, that's really only 5. I thought I was up to 6. I mistook. And then we have the, like, you know, cute side character, like, Orion type of, like, that doesn't really work unless you're, like, a kid or a dog or a spirit or something weird. That's not going to work for a love interest. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway. Spacey isn't feeling anxious for no reason. It's the family's financial affairs that she's worried about. It's nice that they included me in our financial affairs. Instead of being like, you're a girl, you don't know anything about this. It's 1918. Still on that. It's 2023 and we're still on that iffy, like, are women allowed to do things? Although the Nomiya family is a Viscount household. Viscount? Is it Viscount? Never. Anyway. They're far from wealthy. But look at our house. It's pretty. I like this. I mean, I'd like to live here. Their financial situation is so dire, they often worry about whether they'll find their next meal. They're most definitely not in any position to host a gorgeous evening party such as this one. The family must have added even more to their pile of debts, borrowing money from various people. Letters from debt collectors arrive day after day. Well, this feels legit. With that, it's bills, but I just paid my electric bill last month. Why do I gotta do me every time tax season? I just did this last year! Of course, they can always sell the family heirlooms, but there are only a few left. The family has given up hanging scrolls and priceless vases as collateral for their debts. Oh, has given up hanging. I was like, giving up hanging scrolls. Like, we've given up on hanging scrolls on the wall. No, we've given up hanging scrolls, as in sold them. Okay. I just read that weird, so I'm sure everyone else understood, but my brain was like, what? Oh. Okay. Spacey's grandfather, who passed away several years ago, was fond of those pieces of art. Well, he's dead, so like, whatevs. That's awful. But it's one of those things where you like get stuff and you're like, I know this was my grandparents, and I feel bad about getting rid of it, but at the same time, you can't keep everything. I mean, even as a hoarder, sorta. Like, I like things. I have things all over my walls, things on every shelf, but like, I like tchotchke clutter. You know what I mean? But there are things that you're like, you can't do anything with this. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't keep everything. Although I feel like antiques and things like that. But still. The fact that they've had to stoop to such lows just proves how poor her family is and how unworthy they are of the extravagant evening party. Well, maybe they ripped down the curtains and made that dress. Scarlett O'Hara did it. Everybody else can. Rip down your curtains and make a dress, bitch! Spacey doesn't want to show her face at the banquet. If anything, she wants to run away. The thought of escaping has been the only thing on Spacey's mind. It's her birthday and she should be happy, but the decadence of it all has left her bewildered and exasperated. If I were to disappear, everything would turn into chaos. With a heavy heart, Spacey experimentally holds up the skirt of her evening dress. Do we get to see it? I hate it when they're like talking about dresses and I can't see them. The dress is tight around her torso, and she wonders if it's even humanly possible to get out of it on her own. I mean, that's why your parents put you in it, because they want to find a man that's going to take it off for you. Who's going to pay for you. Like, literally buy you. That's how this works. But as long as she can hike up her skirts, well, already! Just kidding. But it's the game. The game knew what it was doing with the phrasing. Like she's doing now, jumping out the window and running away from here is still a possibility. A large Zelkova tree grows outside, its thick branches nearly reaching the balcony. Spacey has always been quite the tomboy. Climbing trees was one of her favorite pastimes as a child, so escaping through the window isn't a problem. She knows that she shouldn't be doing this, but a part of her brain is already planning her next step. I like this that we're already ready to, piece the fuck out on this. With trepidation, she opens the window and slips outside onto the balcony. The cool night breeze caresses her skin, and all her worries from moments ago suddenly seem small. Right now, she feels like she can do anything. I don't even like these stuffy parties. The rebellious feeling she's been suppressing starts to burst forth, and there's no stopping it now. Alright, so you'll notice, if you're new here or whatever, that I tend to, I will rag on the MCs a lot. Because they're usually like, oh, fainting violet wallflowers, and we've been married for 10 years, and he looked at me, and I'm blushing and embarrassed, and I hate it. I know it's just the way they write, but I hate it so much. It's like, get over it. I know in the very beginning being, naive and innocent, I know it's the trope. It's basically, the Tome games, 98% of them are going to be, blushing, dainty little awkward wallflowers who, every time a man looks at them, they practically pass out, but it drives me crazy. Fucking hike your tits up and be a woman, okay? It's okay to be, a little bit awkward and strange and things. In some situations, I'm totally for it, but then they just keep doing it, and you're like, it's been 18 years, you have 4 kids, stop it. Stop it. Get over it. Stop it. You know what I mean? But like, so I will rag on them. So far, you know, I don't know. I'm not getting the like, oh dear God, get over it, girl. I'm like, all right. I'm kind of sort of. There's a little bit like I'm feeling her a little bit because she seems different. You know, like they're like, hey, we're gonna write a strong, independent girl who's like, fuck this shit. Do I have to? I'm gonna climb down this tree and run, bitch. I'm into it, I guess. I like it a little bit. Now I don't know how she's gonna go, but like, I'm feeling a little bit more appreciative of this MC than some of the other ones we've had. And some of them I really like, even though I like her, but I still want to slap her in the face and tell her to stop fucking being embarrassed about everything. There's a time and a place to be embarrassed, and it's not every time and every place. But that's what these games do. And like, as much as I love these games, sometimes the MCs make me want to choke them. But I kind of like I'm just throwing that out there because right now I'm like, oh, okay. She might be different, not like other girls, but not in the obnoxious way. I don't know. Anyway, I look awful in this dress. I'm terrible at dancing too. I'm sure it's best that I run away now before I make a fool of myself. She probably doesn't look awful in the dress. She's aware that everyone will be troubled if she, the main star of tonight's party, disappears, but she also knows she can trust her clever older brother to deal with the mess, who we are going to romance at some point. Now that the thought has taken root, her body and mind feel much lighter. Spacey's made her decision. She will run away. Hiking her dress up to her waist, Spacey exposes her slender legs. She puts her hands on the balcony handrail, intent on climbing over it to jump onto the thick branch on the other side. But then, I'm like, I kind of into this. I don't know who's saying, my lady! A flustered voice calls out to Spacey from below. It could be a character that we know that we're gonna date. It could be like a regular, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how to voice them yet. What are you doing? Okay, I think that's Majima. Yeah, okay. So he's our last love. I think he's the family gardener. That's all I know about him. Which is interesting that he's the last one we can marry. They're trying to marry me off for money. I'm going to bet the gardener that we don't have money to pay doesn't have the money to buy me. Because we don't have the money to pay him to do his job. You know what I'm saying? It's like a circle. Anyway. Oh, hello there, Majima. Maybe Majima should have the accent. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Hold on. I like the fact that two of the characters, because it was an 18 plus game, they use their pseudonyms. But she does, like, Otome Kitten does go through and put other games that they were in, and it's like, yeah, but now my brain can't process the pseudonym with, like, the real character, so now I'd have to look it up, but, like, it's kind of funny, though, that they didn't, they're like, no, we're gonna leave the pseudonym in here, even though you kind of know if you're like, pseudonym A goes with voice actor B. You know what I mean? It's just funny. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because nobody else would have this voice. So absolutely. Majima now, I also love the fact that his name is Majima because it makes me think of Majima from Yakuza. And I love Majima from Yakuza. So, you get a bonus point, buddy. Anyway, I think, yeah, because none of the other characters kind of look like they would have, okay, his voice. Yeah, you've got a voice. I'm kind of wondering who's the flirty whore here. Do we have a flirty little whore? Let's see. Arrogant and pompous. Okay, I'm just looking at, okay. We have a half British butler. We don't really have anyone who would have the, like, Lupin voice. That's interesting. And the half British butler should have the bad accent, but then he's half British. So that doesn't really, like, you know what I mean, work? I'm sorry, this is what happens when we start playing games. The voice acting hasn't come into my brain, and then we have to adjust things as we go, and then, like, usually you can pick out the flirty whore character. Like, flirty whore right here. Anyway. we're gonna give Majima the Irish accent. Because I feel like you can't do it to the half-British butler and have this weird fucked up accent that I have that's really bastardized for anything, but it's fun and people seem to like it. But anyway, I gotta put it on now. Please don't hello there me. What are you trying to do? It's dangerous up there. This man is a servant, Yoshiki Majima. Yeah, okay. His handsome face, which now appears rather pale, looks up at Spacey under the night sky. He's a 25-year-old man who started serving the Nomiya family around the same time Spacey became a teenager. Apparently, he used to work for a different household, but then Spacey's family took a liking to his potential skills in landscape gardening and snatched him away. Back then, the Nomiya family was wealthy enough to do that. What are you doing down there? Are you tending to the garden even though it's this dark out? Even though it's this dark, sorry. I just finished watering the plants, and I was about to put my tools away. I was too hot to work during the day, so... Wait, we have more pressing matters to discuss. Spacey stares down at the flustered Majima. A nostalgic feeling tugs at her heartstrings. She likes Majima. And it's not only for the lovely gardens he's created, but also for his honest and gentle character. We're gonna romance him later, but also, maybe this is a slight spoiler. I think she had, like, a crush on him, or might still have a crush on him. So. Majima and this garden have always managed to soothe Spacey. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if you're gonna start off like, he's always soothed me, and she's got a little crush on him, having him be the end character is kind of good. I kind of like that. Instead of like, oh, this is the, crush that I've always had, and I've always kind of had feelings for him, like I had a childhood crush on him, and like, whatever. And then he's like the first route. No, it's kind of like a little fitting that he's the last one. I'm into it, okay. She's filled with peace and tranquility upon seeing him, a sweet gardener who tenderly looks after his plants day after day. Yeah, you want to be one of his plants. My lady, please don't do anything dangerous. Looking up at the balcony from the garden, Majima desperately tries to stop Spacey, but the sight only prompts her to giggle. It's been a while since I last saw you look so upset. Actually, I think the last time you were this panicked was when I tried to jump from the balcony to this very tree. My lady, just please, let go of... Huh? Let go? Of the balcony? Are you saying that I can jump? Jump into his arms. No, I mean, let go of your skirt, my lady. Skirt? Oh! It finally dawns on Spacey that she's been exposing her bare legs to Majima this entire time. Slut. It's 1918, so it's way inappropriate. Oh my god, Victorian ankle pics! She hurriedly drops the hem of her dress while scowling at Majima in embarrassment. You! What were you staring at, Majima? Oh, my deepest apologies. Majima apologizes profusely, but the red dusting his cheeks is visible even in the darkness of the night. I love the fact that, like, okay, this game, if you weren't playing it on Nintendo and if you were playing it in Japanese, like, the original game, it's gonna get porny, right? But, like, it starts off like this. How dare you stare at my legs? Now let's have sex. I'm sure that comes at the end, but it's still funny. Oh my god. The blush seems to be contagious because Spacey can feel her own cheeks growing hot. She's so embarrassed she turns away, pretending to sulk. Sheesh! Now I've lost my motivation, no thanks to you! What? What motivation? I was planning to climb down the tree and run away. What? Majima's eyes widen for a moment before he sighs, a peeved look etched on his features. Huh. My lady, where were you even planning to go? And on the night of your birthday of all nights? It's just so weird. Spacey feels something akin to guilt and discomfort at Majima's logical remark. Everything about this party is so excessive, and this fancy evening dress, it doesn't suit me at all. It's casting pearls before swine. So ashamed that I don't think I can go out there and show my face to the guests. I have nothing to be ashamed of. You're gorgeous. Hey, don't be flirting with me. I can't date you yet. Majima says so with a straight face. For a moment, the statement renders her speechless. This is gonna kill me. Okay, you can't do this much like, oh my god, there's a little embarrassed and there's kind of flirting, and she kind of like probably has feelings for him, and then he's like, you're gorgeous, and then she's all embarrassed. And you can't throw this like light, adorable flirting at me and then make me wait for the full, oh, game's gonna torture us. Alright, good job. You're such a liar, Majima. What? I'm not lying. Of course you are. You're a liar. Spacey turns around, her back to Majima. You'd say that to anyone. With those last words, she moves to close the window behind her. I love the fact that she's like, liar, and then storms off because she's embarrassed. This is how you handle embarrassment. Like a whiny-ass adult. Because this is exactly... Yeah, well, you suck! And then it's like so childish, but that's exactly... Like, you're like, yeah, no, uh-huh. Her reddened cheeks burn. Her racing heartbeat won't calm down. Majima, you idiot. She's embarrassed because she likes him and like, Majima's kind. He's a man who would smile at any woman and tell her she's beautiful. Also, I'm sorry. I didn't point out that there was a CG technically when Majima first showed up. My bad. You might want to rewind a little bit. Do that if you weren't paying attention. Another thing I forgot to note. I do like to tell you when there's a CG because I know people like to multitask while you're doing things. So you can do that. I will let you know. I failed. And if you're new here, that's a -1 for me here. But I started doing that a while ago because people asked me to, and it's not that hard to be like, oh, CG time! You know. But I forgot, okay? It came so fast in the game. I'm sorry. I'll go sit in the corner later, but let's finish this. You can just rewind and check it out. Oh, we'll wait. Okay, you're back. Did you see it? Okay, cool. Anyway, he's a man who would smile at any woman and tell her she's beautiful. With Spacey being a tomboy when she was a child, none of the female servants could keep up with her energy, so Majima was the only person who would stay by her side and play with her. He came when you were a teenager. Didn't we just say that? So, like... Maybe they mean, like, a young, like, 13 or something. But it almost now sounds more like he was there since when you were a child, but she said they hired him when she was a teenager, so I'm kind of confused about exactly whatever. Anyway. He would listen to her stories while tending the family's garden. Also, I'm going to assume, I'm not really sure how old we're supposed to be, but you would think, okay, we can't possibly be like 15 or 16, even though that's when you try to sell your daughter off, because we did say, I'm just trying to see if they tell you. I'm thinking we're at least like probably 18. Yeah, I would guess. I was trying to see if it said something in the guide. So like, all right. Did that make him like 7 years older than us or so? So like, yeah. Because then he'd probably have been like at least 18, 19, like when he comes, whatever. Anyway, I'm just trying to figure out like the age difference. Like, Bird, stop it! You're being bad. I'm shrieking when he makes. Anyway, he would listen to her story. Okay, she would tell him everything about weird things that happened at school, getting scolded by her mother, discovering a cute cat, a store of baked sweets that smelled heavenly, and Majima would always give Spacey beautiful flowers. He would tell her sweet words, comparing her beauty to that of a lily, telling her she's practically a princess, etc. Now, depending on the phrasing of those things, this could be like, aw, or like, oh, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're practically a princess, or you're beautiful like a princess. You know, that's kind of a cute thing you could say to kids and not be gross, like, you're just beautiful. It's lily. Kind of inappropriate. You know what I mean? There's lines, and I don't know where we're crossing them here, but it's supposed to be cute, but like, knowing what's going to happen, it's like, we could be skirting a line here. I don't know. However, she soon realized that she wasn't the only one Majima complimented. From that day on, a lump formed in her chest that's been stifling her ever since. Sometimes her feelings would rear their ugly heads and torment her. I hate men like him. No, you don't. Spacey presses a hand to her fiercely beating heart and chews at her lower lip. Maybe he should have had the flirty whore voice if he's flirting with everybody. Alright, so just bear with me if we have to adjust voices and change them as we go, because we gotta make sure they suit the characters. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she should have gone with her initial plan, jumped, and used Majima as her landing mat. Seeing how badly he reacted to her simply going over the balcony's handrail, His heart might have stopped had she actually made the jump. Imagining his shocked face relieves a bit of her tension. Spacey finds poking at the gentle mask that Majima wears by surprising or annoying him interesting. I'm coming in! I don't know who it is. Oh, yes! Please come in, Mother. Oh, or Mom. Spacey replies hastily, surprised by the abrupt arrival of her mother, Shigeko. Shigeko? Shigeko? Look. We're gonna stumble through some of the names. We're not the best. That was close. If her mother had come a few moments earlier, just in time to witness her trying to climb over the handrail, the entire manor would be in uproar right about now. Why are you still here? You're the star of tonight's party. You shouldn't be playing hide and seek in your room. But I don't want to go to the party. Oh dear. How many times are you going to repeat yourself before you're satisfied? This party is for you. Don't be selfish. But I feel like our mother might be a little, snooty. Not a gentle, nice mom. Miffed at the exasperation in her mother's tone, Spacey casts her eyes down. Spacey, what's the matter? Are you not feeling well? Her father, Yasuyuki? Okay. Steps into the room after her mother. He's come to check on her. When Spacey's eyes land on the figure of her father, a complicated mixture of feelings rushes through her. Here he is, genuinely worried about her well-being, when only a few minutes ago she was trying to run away. She can't stop the guilt from eating at her conscience. No, Father, I'm fine. Then hurry up and go downstairs. Everyone's waiting for you. Yes, Father, I understand. Albeit reluctantly, Spacey finally relents to her parents' wishes. It isn't fair that both her mother and father are here. She can't possibly go up against both of them at once. Her mother's confident tone and her father's gentle smile. They both seem so happy, but she just can't share the sentiment. The noise of the hustle and bustle from downstairs drifts into the room. It only serves to dampen her spirits even more. Is she an ungrateful daughter for worrying about the household's finances instead of enjoying the party that her family has gone to great pains to host on her behalf? No, because you know that they're trying to sell you. I'm sure Mother and Father would feel awful if I tell them I'm worried about the money. Spacey used to attend an Imperial women's school. She recalls the easy, peaceful days that she spent there. Her school friends would consider worrying over money issues beneath them. They believed a young lady should simply smile elegantly. Contemplating economic matters was not considered befitting of a lady of high standing. So, like little birds, they would chirp on about balls, tea parties, dresses, high society gossip. Mindless drivel like that. Man, I wish I were rich enough to just be able to worry about mindless drivel like that. I like how we're being a little uppity, oh, they just have mindless chatter. Yeah, man, that must be nice, being that fucking rich, not having to worry about shit. I'm just saying. I think I could use a little bit of that. The end of the war brought a wave of prosperity, urging some to feel restless while drowning others in new forms of entertainment. But in the midst of it all, Spacey can't get her family's situation out of her head or let herself indulge in the ongoing change. She loved studying and she wanted to pursue her higher education. She quickly gave up on the idea due to her family's circumstances. Ah, brother of the whore. I think this is our brother. Oh, all the way, CG of our brother. Oh, no, wait. Wait, yeah, no. Yes, that is our brother, I think. I'm trying to see. Because the butler doesn't look like he should have glasses. We got glasses, but I'm just wondering, are you really my brother, or maybe you were adopted? Because if that comes out, or are you actual full-on blood brother, half brother? I'm curious. Because I don't want to read the spoilers, or I just know he's our brother. And we're going to romance him. But I don't know if there's going to be a plot twist where it's not really your brother. You know what I mean? Like they've done before. So, my concern. I don't think that our brother... Should our brother get the flirty horror voice? Or, let's try it. Because he kind of seems like he might be a little soft and delicate. But... And maybe our butler could have the soft, delicate... Because, see, none of them look like they have the soft, delicate voice where we talk sweetly like this. You know what I mean? None of them really have that look. I don't have enough voices if you don't have the look that fits the 5 characters that I have. So, we're going to try the flirty little Lupin voice with him. We might have to switch things around. So again, bear with me in the first couple parts while we fuck around with the voices. Because, like, I didn't really fully... Sometimes they fit perfectly, and other times they have to be adapted. You know what I mean? Let's try the Lupin voice with him anyway. Hello, Spacey. Are you wearing the new evening dress? Also, I think it'd be really funny if we gave the flirty whore voice to our brother, because that just makes it even more inappropriate. So, oh, brother. Oh, brother. No. Oh, brother. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. No. Whoops, sorry. What did I do? I hit a button. Wait. Oh, God. I don't know how to go back. Okay. What the hell happened? Oh, I hit back. Okay, oh, sorry. My controller case, like, started to pop off. So I was trying to, and I have no idea how I ended up going back. It's popping off the controller, and I was just trying to fix it, and I accidentally clicked my, like, left button, and I have no idea. I was, like, purple is the color for, anyway. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. Like, it just started to pop off, and it was driving me crazy, so I was trying to fix it, and I hit the L button, which somehow jumped back. Sorry! Anyway. The quiet voice of her brother, Mizuhito, calls her back to reality. The quiet voice of her brother. Okay, so maybe he shouldn't have the Lupin voice. See. Dressed casually and quite slovenly, Mizuhito leans against the wall, the corners of his eyes crinkling as he gazes fondly at Spacey. How fondly? His ivory white skin contrasts with eyes steeped in shadow. His long back hair is lustrous, and his lean body stands gracefully as a willow tree. Okay, you're describing your brother a little too sexily right now. I'm just... Alright. We haven't even gotten into it, but we're getting into it, is all I'm saying. Mizuhito may be her blood-related brother. Okay, so the game was, like, not wanting you to question this. You're like, maybe he's a blood-related brother that you are making sexy quips about. Okay. Anyway, Mizuhito may be her blood-related brother, but he's just so beautiful that sometimes she catches herself staring in awe of his good looks. Okay. On, like, one hand, you could be like, you could think your sibling is beautiful, you know what I mean? Male or female, be like, my God, yeah. No, I think my brother is a very attractive man. But you're not like, there's a difference between logically going, this person is attractive, and being like, I want to bone them. You know what I'm saying? There are two different types of attraction. There is, I recognize that this person is attractive, but there is absolutely no attraction here. I just logically know, and I can recognize with my eyeballs and my brain, that they are an attractive person, and I understand why women are all up in their shit. And then there is the, my God, he's so beautiful, I want to be all up in his shit. And usually, if you are talking about your brother being beautiful, it's not the two. You don't meet the two. The two don't combine. But I feel like they're combined in here. I mean, they're going to, because we're going to date this man. Okay. But, I mean, saying he's just so beautiful, sometimes she catches herself staring in awe of his good looks. Totally be just the logical version of this. But the way the prior and this just did not read that way. And knowing what's going to happen, I can't read it that way either. He's familiar with the world of painting, and writing poems is a hobby of his. But to Spacey, Mizuhito himself is a work of art. Yeah, okay, this is a little too lusty for your brother. I don't hate it, I'm not gonna lie. I want to be like, no, this is inappropriate. I'm like, I am here for this. I want this game to make me cry and wish I had never, ever been like, give me the brother route. Come on, bitches. You know what? I think that's why you people voted for this. You were like, what do you know that I don't? Is he my actual blood brother? Am I gonna... All right. This is voyage of self-discovery for me here. He used to dream of becoming a painter and going abroad to learn more about paintings, but their parents were against it, and Mizuhito was forced to give up his dreams. Because of that, he lost his ambition and even ended up quitting school. The only thing he seems interested in now is sleeping around. He's been a handful, to say the least. Okay, sleeping around. Sounds like he's a bit of a whore. So even though he has a gentle voice, she said a soft voice. All right, we'll play with some things. I wish he had multiple lines so we could like read one with one voice and one with another and see how it works. Anyway, Mizuhito's gaze lingers on his beloved sister. His lips curl into a smile. Yeah, because she's one woman you haven't slept with yet. I mean, I'm not going to make the inappropriate mother comment. All right, yes, we will. Technically, you've been inside your mother, but like in a different way. Not, but still, you've been all up in her business, when you were birthed. But so theoretically, you could be like, well, technically, it wasn't sex, but like, whatever. But I need to be in my sister now. I would be like, this game's gonna get demonetized, but like basically all my shit gets demonetized now because I swear, and YouTube is a bag of dicks. And is like, you said fuck once in your video, even though that's not what the guidelines say, as long as it's not in the beginning. And I specifically marked not for kids, so, but yet, yeah, YouTube hates me, but whatever. Not gonna change who I am for you, YouTube. Blow me. And this game is just definitely, even if we were, like, this one would be like, God, no! What is some of the things that are coming out of your mouth? Not shit I ever want anyone to hear, but yet, here we are, on the interwebs. I'm gonna try the different... Okay, let's go back to we'll do the flirty whore voice, and then we'll switch back and forth and see what works for him. But anyway, I thought you were someone else, Spacey. And tonight you look even more adorable than usual. I think this could work. Sheesh. Brother, you're always exaggerating. Well, yeah, because the soft boy voice is more like, not at all. All I did was put my feelings into words. I can't do that with a flirty whore that's going to be our brother that we're going to have sex with. He's got to have the lupin voice, but a little more, not quite as flamboyant. You know what I mean? We got the flamboyant version. We'll tone it down a little. Not at all. All I did was put my feelings into words. Mizuhito! Why are you still dressed like that? I forgot our mother's voice already, but whatever. Scowling, Shigeko gives her son a dirty glare. You know we're going to entertain many important guests tonight. Why are you like this? Honestly. I don't see any problem with what I'm wearing. Besides, I don't think a European-style outfit would suit me at all. I'm not done yet. I've told you 1,000,000 times to tidy up that hair. Come on, dear. Talk some sense into him. Let him be. He won't listen to us anyway. And more importantly, tonight the spotlight will be on Spacey. I like how our parents absolutely look like they rolled off a boat from Europe and our brother is the only Japanese-looking one in this household. I mean, if you think about it, like when they do, they always are like blonde hair, green eyes, red hair. They're, like, obviously not stereotypical Japanese looks. But like everybody else is literally looks like they're rolling out of like Europe, and because they're like, they're trying on the European fashion, and he's like, nah, I'm sticking to standards. So he's so looks like the odd duck right now. Anyway. Father's right, Mother. The flower of tonight's party is this lovely lady, and no one else should outshine her brilliance. Spacey, you look lovely. So lovely I don't want the guests to catch sight of you. You want to keep me all to yourself? This is the 4th route, by the way. We're going to wait a long time with our brother angst. My goodness! Do you hear yourself? A brother shouldn't be saying those things to his younger sister. Our mother ain't wrong. I think she's blushing. It sure seems like Mother's in a foul mood. And maybe I should retreat before I get caught up in the storm. Mizuhito grins wryly at his mother's scandalized tone. He flips back the sleeves of his kimono as he leaves the room. As soon as he leaves, the cheery voices of a gaggle of women greeting him can be heard out in the hallway. Shigeko doesn't even try to hide the frown on her face as she nonchalantly comments, He really is a foolish one. And then again, I guess being foolish runs in the family. Shigeko! Yasuyuki's angry voice flares up. However, without looking even the slightest bit remorseful, Shigeko lifts her chin and turns away. Let's go, dear. Yes, Mother. Sighing softly, Spacey gracefully puts on a pair of lacy gloves. The tension in the air weighs on her, amplifying her distress. She and Mizuhito are siblings from different mothers. Okay! siblings. All right. You know what? You know what? You ruined it, game. You ruined it. Like, half siblings is only half-ass. It's still inappropriate. I mean, still. Half brother, full brother. Still gross, but it's half as gross. I'm just saying, I want one game to commit to my full-ass brother romancing him. But you've kind of like... I'm not saying it's not going to be inappropriate, but I'm just saying I feel like you could get around it a little easier. You know, instead of being like, my full brother, you're like, half brother. You know? And then we're going to find out, no, he was adopted or some shit. Or like, well, actually, his mother was already pregnant with him when I married her and I just pretended he's mine. And then it's going to be like, oh, I just grew up thinking he was my brother, but we're not blood related. Which is a problem in itself. Like, if you grew up with someone your whole life thinking they were your sibling, you're going to not want to romance them. You know what I mean? Because you're like, no, we grew up like siblings. You know what I mean? It's weird. They kind of like, even when you have childhood friend routes, like, well, we were always together. We were like siblings. It's weird that we were in love. And or there's always like that little thing where it's like, huh, a little awkward. But I mean, we're not related, so okay. But like, full on siblings, you grew up thinking they were your sibling. Like, you know what I mean? Like that you wouldn't just be like, oh, we're not related, cool, let's fuck. You'd be like, no! So like, but I really hope they don't go that way. I really hope that the end thing in his route is not actually my brother. Because even though it's inappropriate to have grown up for, let's say, 18 years thinking this is my brother, he always thought I was his sister, but then we're not. You know what I mean? Then they could be like, well, see, that's why you were attracted to each other, because, like, you knew somewhere deep down you weren't related. And it's like, no. I want the angst and the creep factor that's going to come with the fact that I'm like, I know we share blood. We are actually siblings. Still want a piece of that. You know what I mean? Because that's way more inappropriate. You know what I mean? Like, you could excuse your way out of, well, we're not actually related, even though we grew up together, and that's weird. You could kind of, like, make excuses and just throw that away and, like, be like, it's okay, we're not blood related. You know what I mean? And there's different levels. Like, half siblings, like, step siblings, you're like, we're not related even though we live in the same house, because it depends on when we became siblings that it might be a little awkward, which is also the not actually related, but we grew up as siblings type of a thing, where you're like, could be weird, but you could wrap your head around it and kind of excuse it and kind of just throw away the sibling kind of dynamic that you grew up with from any point on, because not blood related. You know what I mean? Even if you're not into that stuff, you could be like, I could deal with it in a game because we're not blood related. Then there's like the half siblings where you're like, that's kind of gross. And then full on siblings is like, oh no, that's somehow worse. And then there's the twin thing that's even worse than full on siblings, I would think. But you know what I mean? Like, they're half-assing it with the half-siblings thing. I want it to be full-on siblings, because then it's just somehow more disturbing to me. You know what I mean? I need the shock value. But I don't want it to come down at the end of, like, we're not actually related type of a thing. Then it's going to disappoint me. I need a game to fully commit to having me bone my brother. Otherwise, it doesn't count. And we need this for science purposes, because it's been too long. Not long enough, but it's been at least a year. I would say roughly. Somehow over the last year, it's been like, where the hell's my actual... Now I want this game... I want a game to go this far. And just to see if I can handle it, or if I'm gonna be like, God, no, what was I thinking? I mean, right? Everybody wants this. Not just me. I need to see if there's a new fetish unlocked here. I don't know. Anyway, we're siblings from different mothers. While Shigeko is Spacey's biological mother, Mizuhito is a son that Yasuhiko had with a servant, and Shigeko is still sour over it. Oh, this is not even like he was married before and she died or some shit and second wife. It's, he married our mom and he boned a servant. Ooh! Which again could be like, okay, well, I just pretended he was my son because she got pregnant by someone else and I didn't want that child to grow up without a father, so I know it made your mom mad. But like, where you're like, well, that was stupid. Sounds like a noble thing, but it's stupid. And it would be disappointing. So if they do that, I'm going to be mad. I'm just saying. I want the actual sibling thing. I need to see how creeped out I am about it. Because right now, I'm not as creeped out about it as I should be. Stacy follows her parents out of the room. Once outside, however, she catches the sight of a man out of the corner of her eye. The encounter chills her to the bone. The man is none other than the manservant, Saburo. I was like, okay. He began serving the manor roughly 2 years ago. He's a large, boorish man who rarely complains about his job, which includes physical work and driving. Wiping his sweat with a towel, Saburo stares silently at Spacey with dark, dull eyes. Okay. I know that there's some kind of, like, essay going on. Please not. Please no. Oh no. Not with Lurch over here. An uncomfortable feeling crawls over her skin, urging her to sever eye contact. Running into the gloomy Saburo only makes her more depressed. Oh, what a creepy guy. Yeah, we could have stopped there. Oh, whatever. She almost never speaks to him. And yet ever since the day Saburo started living in the manor, he's been chasing Spacey with his slimy gaze. Oh, I don't like where this is going. This bothers me more than doing my brother. She finds it very unpleasant, to say the least, but since he's willing to work for a fairly low salary despite her family's situation, she can't bring herself to ask for him to be fired. She can feel his stare boring into the nape of her neck as she walks down the stairs. She breaks out in a cold sweat, her mouth a taut, flat line. All right, well, that was a fun way to, like, I know this was a long part of nothing, but this is how these go. If you're new here, we get a lot of plus we're starting the game, so there's a lot of thoughts and things that are going to come up. This is actually how every part's going to go, and Atome Kitten did point that she played the game in 20 to 25 hours, so that's going to be like 40 to 50 hours for us, because we always double that, because this is probably the first 10 minutes of the game, and it took us an hour. Sometimes we get in the zone and we read, and other times it's just rambling thought trail. Anyway, I will wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. For anyone that is new, these go up every other day, unless something happens and, like, I get behind. I'm very behind right now. This has got to post in a week, and I'm usually like 2 to 3 weeks ahead. I'm like so behind. But anyway, yeah, these post every other day. So if this is, say, a Monday, which I think this is going to be a Monday, the next part will go up Wednesday, that type of a thing. So we played 2 games in tandem. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.